Hello, I'm Victoria Emerton, and welcome to Behind the Design, brought to you by Design in Mental Health, the leading in-person event connecting professionals from around the world who design, create, manage and deliver care in the built environment for mental health care. Design in Mental Health takes place in the UK each June and features a comprehensive programme of presentations, panels and workshops, a free-to-attend exhibition of specialist products and services, and the prestigious Design in Mental Health Awards. The event website, designandmentalhealth.com, has all the information on the event dates, the programme details, and how to book your event passes. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Charlotte Burrows, CEO of the Design in Mental Health Network. Charlotte, thank you so much for your time today and welcome to Behind the Design.
Thanks, Victoria.
So it's not long until Design in Mental Health takes place. We're all very excited about that. We are going to be talking about the event today. So first of all, Charlotte, could you tell us a bit about the Design in Mental Health Network?
Yeah, the Design in Mental Health Network is a UK-based charity dedicated to improving the environments in which mental health care and support are delivered. So I think I'm 7 weeks in right now. So I'm very much in listening mode, learning mode, and I've been spending time getting to know the organisation, our members, our stakeholders, and that means I'm asking lots of questions, reflecting, and really trying to understand. So one kind of reflection already is that I think we're quite unique in the way we bring together a really broad mix of people, disciplines, sectors, people with lived experience, designers, architects, manufacturers, clinicians, academics. And we believe that the most impactful environments are co-designed with people. And that principle's strongly throughout the work that we do. And that's really important to me. And it's been important to me throughout my career, starting early with co-designing facilities in rural communities and moving on to service design through drug and alcohol services and the NHS. I think the other thing that attracted me to Design in Mental Health is the environment where mental health care happens and how that makes people feel and how care is experienced. And the environment is that first indication often on the value that we place. And it can be where people have really challenging memories, really difficult conversations, and where things can be hard, but it can also be really healing. So good design is about trying to improve those environments. And I think it's really overwhelming and striking when there is really poor design or a poor environment. And I think that probably struck me most when I spent time going into prisons, and it was like a sensory assault. The noise, the lighting, the smells, the challenging environment that was falling apart often, an environment that definitely wasn't designed for healing. And that really struck with me and has carried sort of throughout my career. So briefly, Design in Mental Health works in a few ways. We are very much a connector. We bring those different sectors, disciplines, people together to share knowledge and best practice. We work on supporting the development of standards and testing protocols to improve safety and sustainability in mental health settings. And we're evidence-led. We support research and drive forward and support real-world evidence to help more informed, inclusive and evidence-based design.
So the event happens quite soon, as I said. It's a fantastic opportunity to bring together all those people that the network is joining together into one place in Manchester, to have really productive conversations to move things forward in the design of mental health treatment spaces. So what's ahead for this year's Design in Mental Health Conference in June? Can you give us an overview of what's in store for those coming to the event?
Yeah, I'm super excited. So the theme this year is staying connected to navigate challenge and change. So I think connection is really at the heart of this. So it is about that opportunity, as I talked about, for us as a network to come together to meet people with different experiences, backgrounds, understandings from different sectors, disciplines, and explore ideas together, listen to how different ideas can challenge you, but also what you can contribute. So I think that's a really important point. It's about connection. I suppose reflecting on the environment and how care is delivered, the conference reflects that as well. So the environment around mental health services continues to shift and change from across hospitals and out of hospital, much more into communities, schools, digital spaces. And against this, the role of the environment of where care takes place. So some of the key themes I think are covered in the conference is that kind of diving into psychologically informed environments. So what it means to design more therapeutic spaces, ones that reduce distress and help people feel better. We've got discussions around trauma-informed design, and I think Yvonne Dukes will be challenging us to rethink and think about those assumptions along with others. The role of the physical environment in providing those safe, therapeutic and caring environments, and looking at that in the context of designing for different needs. So looking at that in terms of designing for neurodiversity, we've got some really great speakers bringing in some learning and insights on that. Co-production will always be at the heart of our work, and it will be at the heart of our conference year in. So we have a number of speakers who are particularly going to draw out their learning and experiences around co-production. So Dr. Adrian James and Marsha McAdam are exploring what equity partnership looks like and how that translates. Richard Barton gives a presentation on debunking some of the myths around co-production and sort of provoking the audience to think about how to use and understand the value of lived experience, and to sometimes be challenging in terms of what you think you understand. Clinical and operational learning, I think, is another theme that stands out to me. So I talked about earlier about that real world learning. So getting that real world learning from NHS teams and providers of mental health services who have undertaken, designed projects, like what worked well, what didn't work, how challenging was it, what can we learn and what can we take away? And we've got a range of topics from seclusion reduction to understanding safe wards. We've got lots of different insights coming. I think, as I reflected on earlier, mental health care is across a continuum of lots of different services and in lots of different places. So we're increasingly moving beyond the hospital, and that's reflected certainly in the programme. We've got talks on housing, we've got talks from local authorities on their work in terms of designing for mental health and well-being. So everything from kind of active spaces and preventative care. And I suppose something I'm really excited about is the design and digital innovation studio, or design digital solution theatre, should I say. This is a really great opportunity, not only because it's a free part that people can come and attend and listen to lots of different talks, but I think also, most importantly, the content. So a whole range of kind of practical short talks on solutions around different products and services, but also bringing in some different themes this year around immersive reality and XR. So really looking at what is augmented reality, from young people through to VR headsets, and how do we blend technology and the built environment, I think, are some of the thought-provoking questions we could ask ourselves. We've also got a focus on sustainable design. I think that's really important to think about in the context of the current environmental challenges. So I think we've got some really good speakers drawing those elements out. There is much more that I haven't managed to synthesize, but that's maybe just some of the key themes that kind of stand out as a kind of conference theme. And it's so important. We know for too long mental health has been underfunded in every level of context, and that the environments don't reflect for those people receiving care. They also don't support the staff often in terms of their well-being. The built environment is so important, both for those people who use services, but also those people who turn up every day and for care and support those people. We know that well-designed spaces can help recruitment and help mental health staff as much as the people they support. So the conference is a really good calling to improve the environment for everyone that is spending time within them.
I think you've definitely made a case that people need to go to the website and see what's going on, so they can plan their time at the event. So as you say, we've got 3 parallel streams of conference on both days, and keynote sessions, and a design and digital solutions theatre, which, as you say, is free to attend, and it's new to the event this year. So what sessions or themes are you personally most energised by? What are you looking forward to coming to in Manchester, Charlotte?
Oh yeah, cards on the table. First of all, I think I might be getting roller skates so that I can try and see as many sessions as possible. Because as you said, this is a very jam-packed agenda and there is so much. We will definitely be sharing conference content for a long time to come. So design with people in mind, and what does good inpatient mental health care design look like? So a session led by actually two of our board members. And this speaks to my heart about kind of evidence, being evidence led. So their topic talks about themed areas in mental health settings, that we've produced the evidence design with people in mind guides before. And what does the core evidence tell us about what good design looks like? How can we best describe inpatient care, and what should come next for stakeholder engagement in designing mental health care? So it's a summarising the evidence that we've brought together before in a series of our booklets, and then also looking at summarising that to bring it together around what do we know about good design. So I'm really looking forward to that session. Other sessions I'm really looking forward to, as I think I talked about earlier, I'm really interested in what we've got going on in the Design and Digital Solutions Theatre. I think the opportunity around XR and immersive reality, whether that's producing calming, simulating nature environments or supporting staff training, I think it's going to be a really interesting opportunity to bring together different products and solutions that need to balance between the physical and the digital reality. So there's conversations around like, how do we have technology? What are the physical implications of the building? Can we store XR headsets? Can we, how do we safely make sure that they're right in the clinical environment? I think if we want to bring immersive tech into the built environment, we need to bring those stakeholders together so they can explore both what's possible and also work through the practical implications. So I'm really interested about that. I am really interested in listening to some of the talks we've got that are about custodial settings. It's an area that speaks to some of my previous experience. It certainly shaped some of my understanding of how challenging a built environment can be in terms of producing and supporting people's recovery. So I'm really interested in where we're talking about some of the most challenging environments to be someone experiencing mental health or service provision, and also what it's like to work there, and how we can improve that. Like, a personal passion is nature, so I'll be looking out for all of those speakers that are looking to talk about how to bring in the value of nature into mental health settings. I love spending time outdoors, so that will be a real highlight for me. Finally, I think for me it's about the networking opportunities and meeting people, understanding where their experience comes from, what's important to them, and what they're going to take from the conference, and ultimately what they're going to do with what they gain over the couple of days, how they translate that into impact over the year.
Fantastic. And we do have visitors from all over the world. So we have this huge pool of experience and knowledge that people bring ideas over to the UK, and they take our ideas back to their settings. So it's truly a valuable melting pot of expertise in the sector. So, Charlotte, obviously you'll be at Design and Mental Health on the 3rd and 4th of June in Manchester, as you say, possibly with roller skates or a hoverboard, I suggest might be useful, so you can get to all the places that you need to be. If anyone would like to engage with Charlotte, the network, indeed, on the network stand, and all the other speakers in the programme, please do go to designandmentalhealth.com, where you can see all the information on the exhibitors, the programmes, what's going on, and plan your time while you're with us in Manchester effectively. So it's been a pleasure talking to you today, Charlotte. Thank you so much for your time. We have a busy few days in the run up to the event preparing. We look forward to seeing the network at the event and everybody watching this podcast at Design and Mental Health in Manchester on the 3rd and 4th of June. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks.